to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Funny thing happens when you get mature. You're like,
You don't tan or you don't want to.
well, yeah, Venus is like,
You're like, fuck the sun.
yeah. She's like, I want to get back to work, and people are going to be like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, but you won't have cancer,
Right.
which means you can go again.
Yeah.
And really, ultimately, that's the game. It's like once you get old enough to like start affording these things or not, you're like, I really enjoyed this. I would like to go back. But you can't go back if you start developing fucking skin
But
cancer.
you don't think about that shit when you're younger.
Right.
You just are all, Yahoo,
Yeah, you're just
Maui. And you're like,
tanning is
yeah,
awesome.
Where's the olive oil? I got to go out to the ocean.
Yeah,
You know?
sunscreen. I just got coconut oil.
Yeah.
I'm smack it, flip it, and rub it down.
Funny story is on our honeymoon, speaking of younger,
Mm-hmm.
we went on a cruise, right? And the last day of the cruise, we went on this snorkeling excursion.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really a problem, but we went snorkeling, and it was on a, some charter boat thing. And on the way back, there wasn't really much to do, so Shan lubed up with, I don't know, whatever kind of tanning oil she had, and laid out on the deck of this white boat that we were on that was taking us back to the ship.
Oh, boy, here we go.
She cooked the crap out of herself. She was bright red. She spent the night at the hospital in the getting an IV. And then on the way back, got like blisters all over her legs and shit. That was some like we're like flying home and she's like burning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And blistering.
I'm on fire.
Yeah. Like stuff's popping and running down her leg.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like, what did you use?
What?
Extra virgin olive oil?
Was it an accelerant?
Yeah.
The fuck? Some people did get burned,
Yeah.
but I'm packing like long sleeve linen, like
shit.
beach stuff that I rolled up, but like full length, full arm like rash guards. If I was out I'm like, I want to live.
Yeah.
I want to live. Some people got burned though.
Yeah, I can
But
see that.
it was like, yeah. And some Shalon was already peeling by the end of the trip.
Oh, dang.
So she was quick to
Quick recovery.
go through the cycle. Yeah.
Wild. That's fun, though. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Sad Dads Club podcast, episode 247, because I missed 246.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. I haven't listened to the show yet. I was part of it. Venus listened to most of it.
Yeah.
I did hear like a chunk of, because he was like, you're doing garage stuff, and you guys were talking about one of the first fucking things I did 2 days after we got back.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, we had quick put away like clothes. We packed super light.
Yeah.
So unpacking and was fast. So like at first, I guess a set of hours, we were already unpacked. Things are starting in the loads.
I feel like that would be easy because most of it would just go in the dirty clothes hamper.
Yeah.
Or in the wash.
Yeah, it's like fast, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
So like, I still think there's like this like old travel mindset that I have of like taking suitcases or multiple rollers for a family, diapers and whatever.
Yeah.
That, I've still got stuff. So we were done. So I'm like, well, I still have one day off. It was the Juneteenth holiday. I'm like, well, I've got this off. I came out into the garage, and I'm kind of like, well, I need to clean this up now, like get some cardboard put away. And I look over in this corner over here of our fancy studio, and I've got like my front of the yard tools over here, and like tie downs and miscellaneous stuff. But it's like a whole bunch of stuff just like leaning into the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to get some of the spider webs because, you're gone for 15 or so days. Time.
Yeah.
Zero concept. Some of the spiders that like your foot traffic and places you go, your normal working path of your house.
They're like, it's free. We
yeah.
can go there.
So like, there was spiders. So I'm like, I'm going to do some yard work. I'm going to get the spiders in this corner. I'm like handling spider webs, killing the stuff, cleaning up the tools. I'm looking at the corner and I'm like, you know what? I just need to go get some of those like tool hanger, just hang the tools so they're not all just in a clump and it looks semi-organized. I have no plans for that space. The tools were already there. It's convenient. Venus walks out. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to Lowe's. I'm going to go get some of those like Rubbermaid tool like handle insert things or some system. I'll be right back because I need to get this handled.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, she's like, all right. I'm like, you want to go? She's like, no. Like,
that she does not like going to Lowe's, huh?
No, she just had,
just didn't want to do it.
She was like, I'm going to rest. I'm going to fucking do whatever, know. I was like a purpose. I'm like, why have I let this one go?
Yeah.
And I kind of, it was something just having been out there for, the vacation, I like kind of came home with like a fire, like a purpose. Like there are some things I just need to handle that I've been putting off, like low hanging fruit stuff, not major entire summer length project stuff. Like I can organize this. So it was funny to like the one segment of stuff I caught. You're like, yeah, but I'm looking for a thing, and Dave's talking about the catalog that he's got. I'm like,
right?
Who wouldn't?
It was a couple months ago. So every time I wanted to mow, I had to. I called it excavating. I had to excavate my mower out of the corner of the garage.
Yes,
because there was shit piled on top of it.
Yeah,
and it was frustrating. First of all, it's a job that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind doing yard work, but this is one of those things that made it that much more difficult and irritating, is to have to move a shitload of stuff from on top of the mower so that you can get the mower out. And then when you mow and you put it back, you got to put all the shit back on top of the mower because that's where there's nowhere else for it to go.
Yeah.
So it was really frustrating me. And I'm like, I've been doing this for too long. This is bullshit.
Right.
And so I did. I actually had one of those Rubbermaid, like the thing you mount to the wall that you put the stuff onto.
Yes.
I had one of those bars and I'm like, fuck it. One day I was just like, fuck it. I pulled all the shit out of the corner, screwed that motherfucker to the wall, and then went to Lowe's and bought however many pieces I thought I needed, which I'm probably still short.
Yeah.
And mounted pretty much everything above the mower. Now the mower can come out,
Yeah.
The only things I have to move are stuff that are Chandler's.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah, he's got some stuff in the garage that, like, it's not like his stuff is the only problem in the garage, but there's enough of it that it's like, now I'm working around all this other bullshit, and that's making it that much more difficult.
Yeah.
So I get a little frustrated in the garage because it just feels like the mess is bigger than me,
Yeah.
It's like I get overwhelmed, especially if I start working on my bench, where it's like I just want to be able to use my bench.
Right.
The mess is bigger than me. And like most of it, it's like, I need this thing, or I spent money on this thing. I need a place to store it so I can find it later.
Right.
And that's where I like sort of fall down. It's like, well, I don't know where to put it. Yeah. So I'm like looking into organizational things, like little shelving things that you can put bins and stuff that you can like put the same sort of things in blind parts or whatever it is.
Right.
And then label it and then be able to find it later.
Yeah.
And get that off of the bench so that the bench is more usable.
I used to find it's odd that because the system I got was like the Rubbermaid too.
Yeah.
And it's got tons of like modular hanger.
Yep.
For the longest time on my bench, I just had like they're like the gravity, you slot in and just like a wireframe
with like pegboard stuff.
I put that in later.
Oh, okay.
But they were just shelves based off that like closet Rubbermaid system, whatever it was. And for me, it was like, I put stuff on the shelves but there was no real organization. It was just like, well, it's not on the bench. It's up there. but then that turned into like its own mess.
Right.
It was like, well, yeah, it's up there and it's not here. But then I started to fill. It was like, oh, in order to get to that,
I got to move.
I got to take everything and put it down on the place I need to. And it's just a mess. It wasn't until I went the pegboard, like an ad hoc pegboard system. It doesn't solve all of my problems, but the pegboards allowed me to like, okay, I can organize at least a chunk of my shelf by putting stuff that I need to see on the pegboard.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that. Well, that's where I start. Now, I still have tons of shit at this point staged for cleaning on my bench. It's not very workable, but there are more tools and things that I have purchased that I can now see.
Yeah.
That helps me make sure at least I'm not 80% stupid and buy something that I've already bought.
That's a problem too.
Right.
And
for me,
Teflon tape. I probably now have like 9 or 10 rolls of Teflon tape because I could never find the other ones.
I've got enough PVC irrigation glue and primer cans to probably re-irrigate and lay pipe. Welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast. Oh, yeah. For all of the homes in the cul-de-sac. Like, I don't know how I keep. It's like, where's that glue? Where's the glue? I'll just go fucking Lowe's and buy another. Oh, it comes in pairs. I got 6 cans of the fucking purple primer. 7 cans of the glue, and then probably when I need it, I'm going to open one and it's going to be already hardened. And I'll be like, well, I got to go buy another pair.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's my thing. It's like it's probably already dried up. You know what I mean?
Probably.
I'll just get another one.
The glue seems to go fast. I don't know why. Like, I seal the shit out of it. The primer retains.
Speaking of that, the other day, I think it was Monday because we had the day off, right? For the Juneteenth. Not everybody has the day off.
County didn't.
Neither, state or county. But neither here nor there, I was mowing and doing some yard work, go down the side of the house. And where all the valves are, like next to the house, in between the house and the sidewalk, it is completely full of water and just flowing out over the sidewalk from where the valve. So I've got a pipe under there that is broken. And it is just flooding the valve box and filling that up and then rolling out into the neighbor's yard, I guess, on the side of the house.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things to do is fix irrigation things. So can't wait to dig into that.
Oh, so you just know it's there.
Yeah, I haven't fixed it yet. I didn't have time to get into that.
We're not in a drought this year, so it's like,
I didn't have time to get into that. I just turned it off. I just went into the app and said, no, don't run number 6.
Well, I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Whoever's on 6, sorry.
That's my wife's going to be sad if I don't keep watering it, but it's her pumpkin plant that she's super proud of. So I know I'm going to take some heat if that motherfucker dies.
Oh, if it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did water it today, thankfully.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. I hate digging pipe up to repair it. It just fucking drives me bonkers. I don't like it. And normally for me, it's not just like, it's like a sprinkler that's surrounded like by the root of a tree that you can't just dig up because the sprinkler head, there's no room between a sidewalk and the roots of the tree.
Right.
So it's that kind of situation. And especially this valve, there's like, I don't know, 8 or 9 valves in there, and of course it's in between a bunch of them. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that work.
Don't hit any of the other ones. Roseville hardpan.
Jesus.
At least it'll be semi-soggy and I'll let it run that one day before you do the work, and then
it's muddy, which is even better.
Yeah,
great. And it's full of rock, so there's rock surrounding everything. So I got to pull the rock out and dig up the pipe.
I'm already getting PTSD from that shit.
Dude. Well, remember when we cut the wire? Did we break a pipe too? Or is that just cutting the wire?
Wire.
Just wire?
I think we cut the wire. No, we nicked a pipe.
Did we break a pipe?
I think we did.
I think we did. And then we broke a pipe when we put the fire pit in. Chandler and I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were digging to run the line, and they weren't as deep as I thought, those sprinkler pipes. And I just hit the corner with the pick. That's my favorite.
Bad news?
Yeah. Then you have to cut it back and put in. Oh, my God.
They have a lot more widgets to fix that type of fuck up now.
Well, luckily for that one, I hit it in the corner because it was going around the patio.
Yeah.
And I hit it right on the corner at a 90. So you could just cut the ends off and then make a 90 and then glue the 90 in.
Yeah.
And that was fine. Yeah, that was an easy repair.
Yeah.
Because it was mostly uncovered anyway. But, you know, anytime. I feel like these are my own pipes, but I should call the city and have them come out and check.
Yeah. Could you inspect these?
Can you check and see if I laid pipe here?
Did you guys break this?
Yeah, you broke it.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
Yeah. But, you know, one of the things that drives me crazy is the city has, like, the sprinkler police out. You know, have you seen that guy? You ever seen the truck rolling around, the city of Roseville truck rolling around checking to see if you're running your sprinklers too long or if the water's flowing down the gutter or any? Have you seen that guy?
I know that it's there, but I have not personally seen it.
I see him all the time. Okay. And I got a note one time from that fucker on my door. And it kind of pisses me off because my front yard's sloped enough that, like, I can't get enough water on it without it running off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd have to run it, like, super short amount of time, like multiple times or something, in order for it to really do its job.
Right.
So they'll, like, get on me about that stuff, or other people in the neighborhood, I assume. But we go on a walk around with the dog and find rivers of fucking water flowing down into the sewer from the city's overwatering in multiple places.
Yes.
And there are places where, like, behind our house, directly behind our house, there were a few pine trees that they've, like, cut down and stump removed. And there is so much water flowing out of a couple of these places, it is eroding.
Oh, shit.
The like little hill there.
Oh.
And it's like, don't come at me, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you haven't got your house in order, and I've just walked around my own neighborhood. This is one small percentage of the entire city. So how much water are as the city, how much water are you wasting everywhere?
Oh, yeah. Like the whole main drag right here along the road, like rivers of overwatering.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I get it's reclaimed or fucking it's,
is it if it's running down the gutter?
Yeah, it's like treated, okay, and like you're reclaiming it somewhere, okay, but it's an egregious amount of water.
Yeah.
And the amount of, like, broken fittings, sprinklers, like gushing.
Yeah.
Like, how often are you running that check? Like,
yeah, not enough.
you guys are, you know what these schedules these things are on.
Right.
Like, drive somebody around here at fucking 10 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
and check your stuff.
Yeah.
Because
get your city guide and go check out your own city shit.
Goddamn.
Stop bugging me, motherfucker.
Has it been 2 weeks? 2 weeks tomorrow?
Since what?
Or 3 weeks?
For what?
Since we left.
2.
It'll be 2 weeks
Because we did a show, and then you guys left the next day.
Right.
And then you were gone last week.
And then,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, we left on a Thursday.
Yeah.
To Fiji.
Yeah.
And we had we took an Uber 4 o'clock.
To the airport?
To the airport, 4 p.m.
Yeah.
We were pretty much, I was packed almost a week ahead. So I'm good. And we're packing light. So it's good. Yeah. Everyone's up. Last minute checks. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Piper, Emily comes over because she's going to house sit and watch Jax.
Yeah.
Piper decides they're going to go see they're going to see Heidi, another friend. Like, we're going to go hang out.
Like the day of leaving.
Right, the day of leaving. One last, like, hey, we'll see you, get, friends gift list or whatever, who the fuck.
Yeah.
The prepper in me is like, why would you take risks? Like, why? But it's like, fucking, what's going to happen? What is it?
It's just down the street.
Yes,
I'm sure.
She's going to go get lunch in and out, just whatever. So it's like 12.
What time was your flight?
The flight, I think, it ended up being, I think, somewhere, 7:30.
So that would have been like, no one leaves this house beyond 4.
Right. Well, the Uber came at 4, so it was like everyone has to be here.
Oh, so because you guys hit it for the airport pretty early,
right?
Okay,
and because safe no risks,
right? Because Fiji,
right?
Okay,
no risks.
Sure.
So everyone's just gonna sit here and fucking do nothing.
We're all staring at each other.
Piper's like, we're gonna go get lunch. Stay awake, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. No big deal. I know exactly where you're going. No big deal. 12:31.
Yeah.
I get a call from my daughter.
Oh, no.
Don't do it, Mosquito. She's like, I'm over here at Atlantic and something by the SPCA, that new SPCA, right by the tracks, by the snowplow right off of Riverside.
Yeah.
Right? We were in an accident.
Oh, no.
And I went,
in which car?
are you okay? They were driving Emily's brand new Subaru Impreza.
Brutal.
I'm like, okay, are you okay? Or is Emily okay? Because she was with Emily, and I didn't know, but then soon to find out that Sophia, who house sat for us when we went to Isle of Man, was also in the car. And they were going to In-N-Out that's over there off of Taylor, where some of them work. So that's where they were going. I'm like, fuck. And they're right here. I'm like, are you okay? Car, yeah. Everyone's shaking. Guy, they were coming over the train tracks.
Uh-huh.
And
train sideswiped.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
An idiot train. Someone who had picked up a dog ran at the SPCA thing, ran the stop sign.
Oh.
And as they came over, because the train track, that one doesn't have a stop going the way that they were going. So they came over the tracks. Dude ran the stop sign. She T-boned him. And it was like, clearly, Piper's like, he's running the stop sign, ran it. And it was a low impact T-bone.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've seen anything nowadays and how the crumple zones work, it was over. Their airbags did not go off, but Piper was like maybe 30 degrees because she was talking to Emily at the moment. And obviously all the seatbelts locked up. So she ended up with like a hip bruise and was tight. Like she knew that she had been in a thing, but the rest of the girls were okay. The car drove. I drove it home. Essentially, I went to go pick her up.
So it didn't lose any liquids out of it?
No, nothing got punched or poked or, broken. Yeah. But it was crumpled and plastics obviously were roasted. So I drove over there.
They get a police report and all that?
Yeah. The driver of the other appeared to be slightly
intoxicated.
I'm going to say mentally handicapped.
Oh.
May have been at least certainly probably spectrum.
Uh-huh.
And obviously ran the stop sign. There was a off-duty fire department person who was doing something on the side, a young person on a bike, saw it. Guy ran the stop sign.
Yeah.
There was, and then I thought you had to stop. And Emily's like, we don't have a stop.
Yeah.
So.
Go walk the road, pal.
Right. And, I'm like trying to, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fiji.
We are leaving in
minutes kind of thing.
Jeez.
But everyone's okay. But now it's just like everything, I'm hypersensitive to everything. Okay. Are my people's okay?
Right.
How do I make sure that Emily's okay? Because Emily is watching the dog and may not have...
See ya. We're
Yeah.
We're heading out.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah. I've got minutes to
wrap it up.
Right. And figure out, make sure that everyone has a solution. So we get back to the house. Piper and Sophia had to work at like the top of the hour. So she had to, I'm like, okay, here's how this is going to go.
Here's the keys to the
RS. Yes. I gave Piper the keys to the RS. I'm like, well, none of you, because I didn't know the state of Emily's car, but it was clearly crumpled in the front.
Yeah.
I'm like, if this goes sideways, better that I'm driving it than one of the girls. Not that they're incapable, but if something goes sideways, I would have more experience.
Right.
So I gave the fob to the RS to Piper. I'm like, you take Sophia home to get her work clothes and then take her to work or take her to her car so that she can go to work and then meet me back at the house. We didn't want to leave the car in a safe parking spot because homeboy lived in the area and he was so sketchy and in a space that didn't look like it would have been safe to leave it there. So I'm like, well, I'll get it as close to home as I can.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, it gets all the way home.
Yeah.
And we figure it out there. So I get it back here. It makes it fine. Nothing is leaking. It just looks atrocious. 10 minutes later, Piper shows up with Emily, the RS in the garage, and we just we give her the keys to Miata. It was like, if you need a car...
And she can drive stick?
Yeah, she get oh my goodness. Okay.
Because
her Subaru was manual.
Okay, good.
The clutch on the RS is very forgiving. It's very forgiving, regardless of whatever performance mode you put it in. It's very forgiving.
Yeah.
The clutch in that new Subaru was like it was just short of Michael. Remember the Renault. Like you could let that thing out, and there would be like no way for it to stall. Like there's like a hydraulic release valve that like lets out a specific amount of fluid, so that way the pressure plate.
So does that mean it's limited feel then?
It was yeah. It was. I mean, you could find the friction point, but you would have to try to stall it. To like, you'd have to be in like second and then like pull it out real fast and then it would probably stall. But like first gear, I'm like, wow, boy, this is like manual for kindergartners.
And then maybe part of you is like, well, hopefully this not broke.
Right, yeah. I mean, it was so squishy. I'm like, I've been in this. This is a Renault. We basically... then Emily starts to get like the shock part.
Yeah.
Like she gets back here, safe space. I'm like, here, I don't know the state of this, but you can't drive this because I don't know if something's going to fall off. You need to call your insurance. Brand new driver with like an accident, a first serious type of accident. I'm like, you need to not worry about trying to move this thing and drive it around. Get a hold of your insurance, start that entire process. And if you need a car, because she has a job, she works at a Target.
Yeah.
Down in Sac. So it was like, if you need a car, drive this. This is fine.
No one's going to need it.
Yeah, no one's going to be here.
Yeah.
The Explorer's really big, and, I like her, but she's like... She doesn't need to drive the RS around when there's a Miata.
Right.
Right.
I mean, really, that's what that car is for.
Right. The
Miata.
Yeah, the Miata is here.
Yeah. The RS is a little too special.
It's a shitbox. So drive the shitbox. It's already dented, whatever.
Yeah.
I know, we were making jokes. I'm like, I don't want you to enroll in a derby with it, but You could drive this.
Right.
Her mom didn't seem hot on that. That's here nor there. But I'm like, here are your options. You know,
well, I mean, they get insurance going. They're going to get a rental.
Right. And that was all in the 11 and a half hour before Fiji. Like,
oh, that's...
Yeah. And, so then we're kind of like, well, Venus and I are sort of waiting for that period because Piper was the only one in the car that, like, complained.
Physical.
Complained of something, like, because she was sitting cattywampus.
Yeah.
So it was like, when is that one gonna hit? And it was like the second and third day, I want to say, in Fiji, like the impact trauma had like caught up with her. Like everything was a bit sore, specifically, and then the bruise started to show up and whatnot.
Wow. That's rough.
We got there.
I mean, that's similar. That's a similar situation for what happened with Mellie's car. Right.
Oh, on the freeway.
Yeah, because then we were, we were driving down, the accident happened, then we got down there, and it was like, everyone was in a weird fog.
Yeah.
Over all of it, and like, sort of that trauma, like, came out over some time.
Yeah.
Of course, it was there when we were there, too, but we were so focused on making sure... because we were in the process of moving her.
Right.
And also trying to go to Disneyland. We were so focused on making sure that we were not missing that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For like Shan and I and like the Raj and Di. That some of that came later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Because, this thing happened, and then she's out. You're going to be off to Fiji, so there's distractions and things that are keeping you from really processing properly. Right. And then now you get there, and there's some downtime.
Right.
And then bam, I see that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, pretty much. Was, and then we're there for a wedding, so it's like we're trying to compartmentalize. Everyone's family. So it wasn't like you couldn't talk about it, but it was like, she's okay. When the physicality, the impact is obviously a, conversation thing. But it was like, we're here for
this,
and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah, nobody's dead.
Yeah, nobody.
We didn't have to have you sewn back together.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
No stitches.
But there is the mental aspect of it is probably the toughest.
Yeah. I'm trying to, how much of Fiji is an amazing place. If you like Hawaii,
yeah,
Fiji is like Hawaii at half speed.
Oh, weird.
If not a little bit less.
Oh, wow. Wow. Why?
The people are absolutely endearing.
Yeah.
Going abroad to like the Isle of Man, when you're not staying in a hotel, you're staying in someone's, like, a host. You're staying in a normie's home.
Right.
There's like it warms your heart because this is someone who's giving up their home to share it with you,
right,
to enjoy an event. By and large, the people of Fiji are all like that. When we drove up, so we stayed at Savasi Island Resort. If you are listening to this and you're thinking about a trip abroad, look these people up. I guarantee you will have a 5-star experience. It was absolutely amazing. Savasi Island Resort. We drove in. They're like an island welcome for people they hadn't ever met before. We get out of the van. They knew they confused Piper with Zander. Zander was with me because we showed up early. Everyone who the entire staff, in the fastest way possible, which still is bizarre to me, knew exactly who we were.
Oh, why?
Called us.
Wow.
Called us by name multiple times. It was like aunts and uncles that you'd just not hung out with in a long time. Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Wild.
You're in a place that took 9.5, 10 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And it instantaneously made me feel at home.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're like, oh, I've got, my daughter was just in this accident and I'm here for a wedding and I've got some of these things that I need to do and I've got some responsibilities and I'm a dad and I'm a husband, and the costs. And I get out of this van and these people are singing, they're smiling, they're calling me by name. It just felt like, oh, cool. It's like I'm home. It's a comfort place.
So they knew your name. Did you tell them, oh, I'm Jason, and then they just learned it like that?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I think, I'm sure they knew who was coming in on what.
You didn't send them like a dossier with your photos.
No. They, okay, so the first people
like
that are coming here are
studying up on who's coming.
Mike and will you send us your driver's license, photo, passport? They knew who was coming in at which times because we were staggered based off of flight availabilities. So they knew the first 4 coming in: Mike, Angie, Jason, Zander. Obviously, they flipped those, but that was the only time they foobarred names. And from then on, it was like, you're here. Let's see. The accommodations. So it's an island. It's a very small island. And when I was telling Emily, it was like a slightly more advanced version of glamping. So there's running water, there are toilets, you've got beds, there are facilities, lighting and whatnot, but things are either, in obscure places, run off of like a very limited amount of power or a diesel generator, but you're not really hearing it. The water that you drink is out of bottled water because that's safe, but there's water that's filtered that you can brush your teeth with and take a shower, flush the toilet.
Yeah.
Toilets are like really advanced looking RV toilets kind of thing. So there's power outlets, lights and whatnot. Plenty of stuff to plug in. There was Wi-Fi, but it was spotty because you're in a fucking jungle on like probably a broadband speed that's like mine, split amongst 12 or so cabins. So it's not super, and their networking needs assistance. But, there
Can you imagine that room?
Yeah.
What that looks like?
Yeah. Spaghetti. People could do Instagram and people were sending pictures and communicating, and you could check mails and watch YouTube and whatnot. But it was like
slow,
clunky, and you were definitely like looking for the best spot if you wanted to do something important or communicate.
Upload to YouTube.
Right. As one does.
Right.
So if that's, and I used it, all of those things as like, well, if I have to struggle to get a thing, I'm just not going to, the amount of stuff where I didn't carry my phone with me at all was far more than I walked into it. Like I figured, I'll take pictures and I'll take videos because, the event in and of itself is important. Right. First day or so when it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to fight that, fuck it. But the bulk, if I carried something with me, it was the Insta360 camera that I bought.
Well, you don't want to be frustrated by your phone.
Right.
Not working. It's just like, why bother?
I didn't want to be connected. Zander, goddamn, Zander, he, we told him, like, here's how networking is going to work. He's a very well interneted young man.
Right, he's connected.
So that's his entertainment. That's his jam. So, but we told him, like, you're going to be in a place where that's not tons of discord. You're going to be in a place where that's bottom of the barrel service kind of thing. So you need to take the opportunity to. We get there and he's taking pictures of stuff, and I'm like, so how's that work? And he's like, my friends were all excited of the where we were going. And I knew that the network or the Wi-Fi or cell was going to be crappy, so I'm taking pictures of stuff, and then I'm doing a daily journal, like a vlog. And then at the end of the trip, or if he has signal at the end of the day, he was doing like a picture. Here's what I did dump for all of his friends at the end of the day. I'm like, holy fuck! Like,
nice,
well done. So when I saw him doing stuff. I was in the mindset like, oh, well, I know he's not jacked in.
Right.
But he's
using the camera.
He's doing he's doing it in his own space and then looking for a, hot spot at the end of the day and then doing all of that and then poof, done.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, he got the message loud and clear.
Right.
And because he was carrying his phone and Piper was taking pictures with her phone, Venus kept hers on hers. I'm like, I am not. I used the opportunity to I had the selfie stick with the Insta360, and if I was taking pictures or something, I was using that. And because it was so new to me, I haven't undone a large chunk of the shit that I took on that thing yet.
Yeah.
It was like I unplugged a lot more than I thought I was going to. And it was very cathartic.
Yeah.
It was
liberating.
Yes, it really was.
Was it woke?
Yeah, I was super woke. And then I think we are on the third day. Here's what makes the entire experience worth it. The third day, I've talked at length here. Zander sometimes has a texture thing with some of the foods. The food was all amazing. I'll read you some of the stuff on the menu. While Zander is particular because he has a texture thing, not because we only feed him chicken nuggies or some shit, some things just sideways don't work for him. He tried tons of stuff. Everyone really tried outside of their normal. I think I ate more fish just because I was like, some of this stuff is oh, this is the American, this is what the American would get. I'm like, I'll get something that I haven't had.
Right.
Or something that I can't pronounce.
Why not?
Because
it's there. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
This is the chance. So Xander's trying...
Not the safe thing.
Yeah. Xander's trying a bunch of stuff. And I think it was on the third day. I don't think it was something he ate. I think it was probably just something that maybe because the number of people in staggered things like too much sun, not enough water, maybe they ate something that just wasn't their
heroin.
Yeah. It spiked it. It's too much. It's too much. He got sick, and it was the day of we were going to go snorkeling. He woke up. We all go down it's like a community breakfast, and you pick from a menu, and then they bring it out to you.
Yeah.
He's sitting across from me.
Green.
And he looks it, but he didn't quite look green, but something as a dad, you something's off with the boy. And he's kind of doing that dead stare at someone else's play. I can't remember who was
that
sitting.
Looks fucking disgusting.
And he's looking at it, and I was it was one of those things where I'm like, hey buddy, you what's up? And
did you want some?
Yeah. Are you that hungry that you're
you want a greasy pork sandwich?
Yeah. Are fucking that bagel? What's up? Then he kind of snaps out of it, and then his I can't remember. I think he got pancakes that morning. He kind of and eggs. I think he had eggs, and he gets a fork and touches his lips, and he kind of just sits down. But I'm eating mine. I'm not really paying attention. And he get up and use the bathroom. And he gets up and he comes back and he sits down and he kind of pokes at his plate, And then I gotta use the bathroom again. And I went, oh, something.
Oh,
And
there's
Venus,
the fish.
yeah, the mom, Venus is like, what's up? And I went,
that's not allowed. You're in Fiji.
yeah. I'm like, oh boy, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
He's like, he gets to the bathroom, and I'm like 30 seconds behind him, and I knock on the door. I'm like, Zander, are you okay? And he's like, I'm getting sick. And I went, if you unlock the door, you need me to come in. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's getting sick.
Yeah.
And I'm
hold
like,
his hair back and all that.
oh yeah, absolutely. It's his little sprite of hair. I'm like, well, let's go back to our villa and we'll just chill there.
Yeah.
He basically spent the bulk of the day. He got sick a couple more times.
Oh, that's too bad.
All four of us and the family were going on snorkeling that day, and I think he was worse off more of the day because he felt guilty that
he was missing stuff or whatever.
That I didn't get to. He was a very compassionate young man. He was like worried that he had ruined my.
So you didn't go?
I didn't go.
Oh.
I was instant. I'm like, I told Venus, I'm like, I'll stay.
Yeah,
we're okay. You go with Piper. Enjoy the snorkeling. I am 100%
I will
okay.
beat the shit out of him the whole time you guys are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how dads do it.
That's right.
Like it's not Father's Day yet, so the beatings get to continue.
Uh-huh.
He was very upset. I'm like, it's okay. These things happen.
Yeah.
This is the job I signed up for as a dad.
Right.
And this is it. We're okay. We're okay. You need to get rest, drink some water. He got midday, so that was morning. Midday, he was, fine. We just sat on loungers at the pool for a while, and he kind of just caught up on Discord, and that spanned pretty much till after lunch. And I'm like, how you feeling? We had some crackers, gave him some crackers. He was okay. I got up. I went potty. Shit. I went shit. I don't know why.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. I come back, and he's passed out, on the lounger. And, the 10 minutes I was gone, he's passed out on the lounger, and I went, okay, well, that's all for the best,
Yeah. And then you just leave him there for hours under the direct
I'm like,
sunlight.
well, I can go snorkel because he's fucking passed out. So,
And then he wakes up as a lobster.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
He took a nap for about an hour and a half. Someone came in because we had a pool, so it was like, hey, come over to our shared space and use the pool, rinse off, whatever. And he wakes up from the nap, and she asks, it was Christy. She's like, "How's he feeling?" I'm like, "How you feeling, buddy?" And he's like, and I went, "Oh, shit, fuck! I thought we turned a corner." And he's like, "Nope." And he got up.
Here comes more pancake.
Yeah. He got up, got sick again, and I'm like, "Fuck!" Well, and at that point, more people were coming over, so I'm like, "Oh, well, you just go lay down in our bed."
Yeah.
And then he passed out from there, well into dinner. Okay, we're gonna go eat. We'll be back, but you just rest. Okay, passed out. I think at that point he had gotten up and then was just gonna sit. I'm like, well, we'll bring you something if it looks, we'll make you some tea, whatnot. So here's the money shot. We're eating dinner, and you pick what you're going to eat for lunch and dinner at breakfast. So then when you sit down, so you get a menu.
You just show up and they bring your stuff out.
Pretty much. And we ate as a collective group. So it was like, are you here for your dinner? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. We're ordering drinks. And then they bring out the essentially like the side and then your main. So we're all sitting down. I think his entree came out, whatever it might have been, a soup or something small, and it was like, oh, he's not going to eat tonight because we're still trying to make sure that he can keep water and crackers down.
Right.
And then so they didn't bring his main out, and somewhere I think after I had eaten my entree and my main, I got up to use the bathroom that's like right there near the the community dining area. And as I'm coming back to the table, one of the staff, like, hey, Jason. And I'm like, I don't know their names,
Right.
but they know mine.
Right.
And I'm like looking for a name tag really fast to like play it off like, oh yeah, fucking, we're on the same level.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, how is Zander? And I went, well, midday I thought he was doing okay, but he did get a little bit more rumbly tumbly.
He is just destroying that bathroom.
Yeah, he is absolutely putting a Jackson Pollock display.
Bring extra gloves.
Yeah. You got a hazmat suit? I said, he's pretty tired, pretty wiped. I said, but we left him at the thing and at the villa, and we'll just play it by ear as soon as we're done with dinner and see what's up. And he's like, if you would like, we would like to bring him some ginger tea with honey.
Oh, nice.
It's good for the, And I went, well,
fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one, my name right off guard. Two, that he was concerned for Zander and knew his name right out the gate.
Yeah.
And was like, we can help. Like, it just,
that's cool.
one, as a traveler, two, as a dad, it was so, that staff and that place was absolutely, they're not a Sheraton. They're not a Hilton. They're not a Renaissance.
Right.
It was a boutique resort with family staff. Absolutely outstanding of an experience. I could not thank everyone there enough, and that as a parent, they had concern for someone that was going to be there a total of 4 days.
Right.
It just made you feel like these people genuinely cared for you, and everyone that was there to get away or take a break or whatever brought them there, they cared. Absolutely, without a doubt, I would go back there. I love Hawaii, but that place is special.
Yeah.
If you are looking to take a vacation where you will feel comfortable and important and surrounded by people that will actually care for you, that you're there spending your hard-earned money, that place, Fiji. Go to Fiji. And the food was... it was really good food, and like you and I could cook anything that they made. And we've talked about this before, like how when you're eating with your eyes or the senses of an experience in food, like a campfire and the smells or smoky noms, like it takes you to a special place, a type of food, comfort foods that not only taste good, but almost invoke like an emotional trigger. Like, this is...
Right.
The presentation for the food made you feel like you were eating something that was well above your pay grade.
Yeah.
And it was simple comfort food. They're on an island. Things are, they're not buying prime cuts of beef type of shit. It was a really good, like, salads, soups, fish dishes.
All stuff they can get fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Fresh stuff.
Yeah.
The amount stuff with pumpkin that I ate, like, fuck, why am I not cooking more stuff with pumpkins?
Is it Halloween?
Yeah. Holy shit. Really good food. So let's see. So you pick your lunch. Usually 2 or 3 things you would select for lunch, an entree, and then your main. Oh, and dessert. So this one menu for one day, lunch, your options were grilled fish with green papaya salad, chilies, and Nam Jim dressing. Not your Jim, but some other Jim. I don't know. Mini burgers, which was peppered steak, lettuce, tomato, egg with garlic, aioli, and barbecue sauce. Option, chicken or fish. I'll get to that part. Well, I'll skip that there. Super accommodating to dietary restrictions. The super fantastic photographer that Angie knew, Sarah. She, gluten, no gluten. Once she told them, the staff, I don't need to be gluten. They made her gluten-free muffins and bread to have with dinners or breakfast.
Nice.
Vegetarians, cool. We'll just swap out, give you something that you could have this, but swap out.
Right.
And it wasn't like,
whatever, asshole.
Like, you get Starbucks and you're like, yeah, I can't have dairy. Can I have this with soy? And you're like, oh my God, it's fucking so pretentious.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Don't want to offend. And then, like, to Sarah's case with the non-gluten, like, the next morning, they, like, bring out a special saucer of muffins, and the staff is like, these are gluten-free. The chef made these gluten-free muffins for you.
Nice.
And it was like, wow. Like, it wasn't that she asked for it.
Right.
He just knew, oh, there's someone out here that doesn't. And so while they're here, I'm doing this. Fucking A. So amazing.
That's awesome.
Spinach quiche. Potato, spinach, Salt Lake pumpkin, side salad. Dinner, entree. Crumbled fish cakes that were braised balsamic cabbage and tomato chutney. Or a lentil soup. Yellow split peas, fresh tomato chutney, and puree. Dinner mains, slow-cooked pork chops with spinach, potato puree, and tangy barbecue sauce. Or you could have it with slow-cooked lamb. Inca kovu, which was a poached fish wrapped in a banana leaf parcel with onion, ginger, chilies, and steamed cassava, which was like a sweet potato. Or a penny primavera. Seasoned vegetables, Neapolitan sauce, roasted garlic aioli. Dessert was a coconut panna cotta or chocolate tart.
That all sounds really good. Yeah.
And while the portions weren't American sized, few, if no one, ever got to dessert and went, well, I could still eat like another thing. The way that it was spaced, the portion size, you were full by the end. And to the other accommodations, when we showed up and they like did our orientation, one, foot massage, fucking A. Who doesn't like
wow
a foot massage?
Me.
Yeah, really?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, petty?
No, I stepped on a bottle one time and that foot's very sensitive now.
Oh.
So even if my wife touches it, I'm like, yeah, it's...
Now lick it.
Yeah.
And call me your Bigfoot.
Right in the middle of my...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right in the middle of
like
the arch.
The bridge of your...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, special.
Brutal.
The Ma, her name was... Well, I don't know what her real name is, but her name tag said Ma. And you called her Ma.
M-A.
Yeah. M-A. Ma.
All right.
Ma?
Hey, Ma.
Yeah. She's going through like the menu and like how the meals work and whatnot, and she like looked at Zander and I because I think I was wearing something tight on my arms, and Zander's growing young man. So she like looks at Zander and I. She's like, and if you need more food after you like go through a thing, just tell us, and we'll give you a bigger portions. I'm like, yeah, you got them right. Yeah, but having not known yet, I'm like, yeah, if I get a fucking soup, I need 4 bowls kind of thing.
Right.
But I'm like, oh.
This is Olive Garden, right?
Yeah, can I get some bottomless breadsticks and gluten-free muffins? Fucking let's do it. So it was like, they were hyper aware, like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Anything and anything. And then by the last couple days, you know, some of us, well, I didn't, but some of the people were like, this was a little, they were like mixing and matching stuff from the breakfast menu that was like, oh, you know, can I get the with the
yeah.
absolutely. Oh, I have never been so enamored with sweet chili, jams and compotes. Like they had a essentially breakfast burrito that, you and I have talked about this at length. Like the hot sauces that are like, I don't need napalm. I want something that accentuates.
I don't want the bomb sauce or anything. I want
if you're going to give
flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had a number of chili or capsicum peppered things like sauces or jams or whatever's that were that it was perfect. There was like some heat, but it was tempered with either a sweet jelly or a starch that like or a salt that just kind of like
right. Yeah.
A fucking umami type of shit.
I love that.
The last day we were there, or I was, I got the Zander and I had to leave early, so we got an early breakfast ahead of everyone else. So I'm like, I fucking love the burrito with that sweet chili jam, like whatever the fuck that is. I ordered the burrito, and because we were so early, it came out. I got the plate, and it was oriented like it was, but it didn't have like the little decorative jam smear thing on it.
Yeah.
I went, like I'm like licking my finger and like cleaning my plate. It was so tasty, and it was.
Did you ask for some though?
I should have. Like we went to like another market where I'm taking pictures of like Fijian bottles and like Pacific Islander like market things. Like where is this? Like I need to order this off of Amazon because I wouldn't know what it would be called, but I'm like taking pictures in the market. Like I need some of this and some of these. Like fucking what? Kind of.
So do you think that the jams and stuff, they made them there on site, or do you think that was something?
It's entirely possible. I would have loved to have peeked into the kitchen to see a lot of this.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, maybe it would have been a letdown.
Some dude smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Hey, man. Cracking a jar like, it's made in house.
Jellified meat coming out of a can.
It felt like it probably was made in house. The way that some of the stuff was plated, who knows for certain, but it felt like there was a man spending all day prepping,
some time and thought
and plating,
effort,
and like prepping and plating these things and making all of the sauces. Like, could it be like a McCooney's where they now have like a central place that makes all the sauces and then they ship them out to the places? Sure, it could be that way, but it felt in-house. Felt in-house. The God, let's see what else. Menu, spicy people, dietary concerns, glamping. So the wedding part. So I am the celebrant. I have Universal Life Church memberships.
Mm-hmm.
So the gotcha. Fuck, there's no way I can't even get close to this.
No, not enough time.
Not enough time.
Shit balls.
Celebrant. Okay, I can get to this part. So, the bet I lost was 2016, June, July, before we quit. It was if Niantic and Ingress don't come out with a red faction, they have no other options. They have to do it now. The game is too long in the tooth. If that June anomaly, whatever, doesn't end in a red faction release, fuck it. I'll come to your wedding and I'll wear a skirt. Right? So that was the Angie's like, I'll fucking take that bet. I'm like, I'm not afraid to wear a skirt, but there's no way that they're not going to release a red faction. Like this game.
I mean, they did, sort of.
We got the Ingress Prime release, but they hadn't done at that time. There was no third party, and that was pretty much what I.
So the bet was
if they hadn't released
by what time?
It was whatever that Anomaly series.
by that Anomaly.
Yeah, it was like the story was like culminating in this thing that, for me, Heidi's going to Mexico. Okay, there you go. I probably shouldn't have read that. For me, it was, I think, in us playing, it was like my way of like, there's no way. One, we've been playing so long and burning so bright. It was like, and it would have reinvigorated our gameplay.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like the plant the flag moment. It was like, there's no way that they're going to continue on without adding something significantly net new to this game. At this point, like they need to, and I that was the bet. It was like, if they don't, I'll wear a skirt to your wedding. Fuck it.
So what was the skirt?
And here, so Fijian culture wears, and it goes by a different number of names. I think the village and locality that we were at specifically, they call them Sulus. And essentially, it's a long skirt, like maybe just past your calves, but not all the way to your ankles. Men, women. It's a unisex thing.
Okay.
It kind of looks like a heavy sarong, but it's unisex, non-gender specific. I bought one of those. That was my skirt. And I had a really nice, I bought it, it came out of New Zealand. It was a white, it was way too fucking hot. It was like a heavy cotton that had like a slightly different shade of white, like tribal Fijian Pacific Islander designs on it. So I had a navy blue Sulu and this white top, and on my way to the beach where the wedding was at, I get passed by one of the staff, and I'm walking with Venus. And he like looks at my feet-ish.
Yeah.
Like I clearly pick up that he's like looking below my waist.
Yeah.
And I love your outfit. And I kind of like, well, and it caught me off guard because he said something, and it shouldn't have, because they were all so nice. And we get like 4 paces past him, and I kind of look at Venus, and I'm like, you think he was like being sarcastic because I'm not native and I'm wearing the Sulu?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, because I think in Fijian culture, you are acknowledging and embracing, it's celebrating their culture by you adopting it. Yeah. So they almost like appreciate that you're wearing their stuff, kind of a thing. And I went, oh, well, but do you think he was fucking with me? Kind of thing. And since I hadn't read what she was, quoting me, I'm like, I mean, I'll take that as like a positive, but you never know. We get 25 yards from the path to walk down to where the nuptials were going to take place, and we get passed by another staff person, and he says, I love your outfit. I love the shirt. I love everything you did there. And I went, well, thank you. Thank you. And then he passes us. We get like a couple paces past, and I went, well, clearly the first guy wasn't fucking with me. And she's like, see, I told you. I think they appreciate fuck. Man, I tell you, it's like yoga pants, skirts. It's the boys get lots of air.
Yeah,
there's some freedom there.
Not used to that as a dude.
Yeah. So my you've probably read my speech. It was an Instagram post, but I started my funny thing with like, hey, so I have culminated the bet that I lost to the bride. I am here in the skirt and stuff and things. My speech that I had written was I was actively truncating it because going into it, it was presumed that I could do the entire ceremony because I was technically I'm a member of a faith, and I have a title of reverend, pastor, priest, whatever I choose.
Right.
But the Fijian law requires someone actually certified or on their books as far as to make it legal.
Okay.
So they had to have someone, essentially a priestess from the village, come out and do
wild.
right and do, which was like a net new. So I had things covering rings, and I had a different intro and a poem.
So you didn't get to use it all?
No, because she was like already covering it, and plus she'd done stuff with the rings. So she completes it, essentially marries them.
So you were like the introductor.
Right, I was
the introductory.
I got to do blessing.
You're like the startup comic for the. You know what I mean?
Yes, the not the fluffer, because I was at the end.
The fluffer.
The towel boy.
Oh, so you were at the end, not at the beginning.
I was at the end.
Okay.
So she essentially completes the legalities.
Okay.
And then I got to speak as someone giving a blessing.
I got you.
So she is covering stuff, and I've got my iPad of my entire speech laid out, and I'm like, okay, so that's gone. She completes it, and I'm like, I could say this. So we're also here today.
That's funny.
So it was quite funny to do it all. But I had walked into it knowing that potential was there because I had seen a couple things.
Did they know prior to the wedding that they had to do that, or was that?
No, that was something that we ran into when we were going to actually get the marriage license.
Oh, from Fiji.
Well, yeah. So the morning of, we went into a government office.
Oh.
Mike, Angie, myself, and Ma. And we're doing essentially like it would be here, probably for Chandler's.
At the courthouse.
Yes, you're at a courthouse doing a city hall thing.
Yeah.
Technically, they're married, at, the license and whatnot is pretty much.
Maybe it doesn't carry over to the U.S.
Oh, no, it does.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just joking.
No, Tahiti doesn't. Anyway.
If you get married in Tahiti, that doesn't carry over?
Yeah, apparently it doesn't. Yeah.
What happens in Tahiti stays in Tahiti.
Yeah, fucking get fucked. So we were doing a bunch of the paperwork certification for the marriage license, and the lady behind the counter is like, "And who's doing the wedding?" And Ma looks around. She's like, "Jason is doing the wedding. I've got my passport." She's like, "And is he a Fijian?" I'm like, "Oh, I assure you, I am not Fijian." She's like, "Well, he has
just from the waist down."
Yeah. Well. They call me Billy Club. No. Hey, welcome to Sad Dad's Club podcast. We out here. She's like, well, he has to be on the books legally for the marriage to be binding. And Ma looks at me and she's like, Jason, I'm so sorry. I'm like, fuck it. This is not about me.
Right.
Like, I don't need to do anything here. As long as that happens.
I'm just
I'll
auxiliary.
sit in peanuts and get booze. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm not heartbroken. Whatever it needs to keep moving to make sure that they get the thing.
Right.
And, Ma's like, oh, I'll get someone from the village. She'll come out and do the thing. And the lady behind the counter is like, and he can still speak. Like, fucking sweet. I don't care. Like, I got stuff I can say. So, but we didn't know that first. I had an inkling, but depending on what you read, it was not 100%. And I think because Ma didn't know either, right? We were there in the office, and she was like, "He can do it." I'm like, "Yeah, I can say it.
I'm ordained."
Yeah, $25 says I'm ordained. I can do the shit. But the legalities part, we didn't have covered until the last minute, but it was not an issue. And it was like, he can
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So I could do the celebrant or the blessing part, but the legalities. So if you're going to Fiji to get married, make sure that you have a minister, priest, priestess, reverend that is actually registered with the Fijian government that person is the one that signs your marriage license. You can have someone from the Universal Life Church, or you can have someone speak and give a blessing and be the celebrant, but someone on the books in Fiji has to be the one that signs your marriage license, not your homeboy that's coming in a skirt from California. Fuck.
Wow.
Super amazing experience. I can't recommend
Awesome.
Fiji enough. Everyone should experience that at some point. It doesn't have to be a wedding.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that note, we're not
That's
terribly over, but it's good.
It's over. Yeah.
It's
It's all good. It's all good. You had a lot going on.
We didn't get to Father's Day. We didn't get to.
The sad dads did not talk about Father's Day.
I watched. It's just like fuck. I watched a whole goddamn thing on my lunch break this afternoon about pizza, 16-inch pizza ovens. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, dude, we can talk about it next week.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway, and on that note, happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mike and Angie. Thank you again, Dave, for stepping in for me last week. Wash your hands.
fine. Yeah, wash your ass.
Return the card.
Make the call.
Register to vote.
I don't even know.
Stay up on your shots.
Did we return the card already?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ass.
do the kindness.
Hands, ass, cart, shots, oil, vote. Make the call.
Check your oil, Tony.
God damn it, Tony.
Jesus.
Do the kindness.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks.